Like, I need Daddy Reese to take me to the night court ASAP glass. Like, it's not a joke. It's not a joke. Hey guys, what's up? It's Belle. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello. If you've come back again to see me, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Today, I'm very freaking excited. I know a lot of you are too, because I have been going through this for a week now. A week of emotional turmoil, distress, laughter, joy, crying, throwing up, all of it. Today, we are going to be talking about A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. This was a series that y'all were yelling at me to start, and I put it off for so long. I actually have, where is it? I have the original cover of the first book that I bought years and years and years ago and had not read. It was just sitting there collecting dust, and what a freaking clown I look like now, because let's just say I loved every single second of this. So I thought it would be really fun today to just go through all of the books, talk about the series, rank the series, talk about the characters, and why this is literally my new home. Let's get right on into it. The first book in this series is unfortunately A Court of Thorns and Roses, the title of the whole series, right? So in this book here, we meet Feyre Archeron, and you know what is so embarrassing? It took me until A Court of Silver Flames to realize that their last name was not Archerson. I was just reading Archerson, and the whole time their last name is not Archerson, it's Archeron. So how embarrassing. Anyways, we follow Feyre Archeron. She is giving me Katniss vibes when I started this book. She is the sole provider for her family. She's got two sisters and her father, and basically they're all deadbeats. They all dead weight, not doing anything for her when we meet them in the book. They had a lot of money, the father gambled it, and they've lost it. They are now broke. So Feyre is our little huntress. She has gone out into the woods and she has killed a wolf and shredded its skin or its fur so she can sell it, get some moolah to feed her family, right? She is just a survival gal. Lo and behold, we are in a world where there are fae and there are humans. There is a divide, right? So we get this grumpy thing rock up at her door and say, you killed a fairy, you killed a fae. She said, excuse me? He says, yeah, you killed a fairy who was disguised as a wolf. And she said, how freaking rude, I didn't know that. And this man, his name is Tamlin, says, an eye for an eye. You killed my friend, I could kill you, or you could come live with me in my castle in the fairylands. And she said, okay, just to save my family, I'll go with you. And we get this Beauty and the Beast inspired retelling between Feyre and Tamlin, who has this curse placed on him that basically he cannot break until something happens, where he is sort of like him and a bunch of all his other people in his court are confined to their certain things and under rule by this chick called Amarantha, and something needs to happen in order for that curse to be broken. So we follow that throughout this book, and that's sort of the main plot of this without giving you too many spoilers. My thoughts on this was I gave it 3.75 stars because I thought that the Beauty and the Beast storyline was way too close to the original. I just was like, no girl, like this ain't it. The last 30% when she goes through some certain challenges towards the last 30%, I thought that was freaking bloody slay. And we met someone who really piqued my interest. His name is Rhysand. He is the High Lord of the Night Court. And Feyre strikes a little bargain with him due to the results of some things that happened to her towards the end of the book. And that's where we leave off in book one. The next book in this series is... The second book in the series is A Court of Mist and Fury. I'm just going to say that every man and their dog was saying this is the best book, and every man and their dog was right. This was fabulous, like in the most ridiculous way. This is my new favorite book. This is my new favorite book. I have ordered a hardcover and I've ordered this special dust jacket for it off Etsy because you guys are sleeping on this book. If you have not read this book, I'm a clown. I know, I should have put a red nose on my face. I'm a clown for not reading this sooner. This is fantastic. The love story in this book, I was so unwell. I could not breathe. Like, I'm not going to tell you who the love story is between because, like, obviously spoilers, right? But Jesus, this had me on the floor. We also get to meet, alongside Rhysand, is Cassian and Azriel, who are the other Bat Boys from the Night Court. We get to meet Morrigan, who's also part of the Night Court, and Amaran. Then we also get introduced to Valaris, which is this like secret world land that Rhysand has been protecting for the last like 50, probably even more, like 500 years. This is, I can't talk about this book. It is phenomenal. 5 freaking stars. I will never, ever, ever, ever get over it. And I was sobbing. Rhysand, that's it. That's what I'm gonna say, Rhysand. The third book in this series is A Court of Wings and Ruin. Now, this one was a big one, and it does follow a lot of war. The first 2 books were sort of building up, we're world building, we're getting an idea of what's happening in Prythian is what it's called, the land. And this one we start to see the war sort of, you know, take place. And how do I talk about this series without spoiling it? I can't. I'm just gonna say that this one emotionally destroyed me in a way I cannot explain to you. There is a point in this where Rhysand gives a speech, and it's before they go to battle. And this speech, hold on, I'm gonna find it. I've never highlighted a page so much in my life. I was in hysterics. You'll hear me say this a lot throughout this video, but I'm not even playing around. I was in absolute complete hysterics reading this book. Like, I was in hysterics reading this one, and then it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And I really actually struggled to go, which one of these did I like better? Because I actually liked them both for different reasons. Emotional trauma, storyline, romance, like I'm still a bit on the fence. 5 stars. And then the 4th book in this series is a little Christmas novella, and it is called A Court of Frost and Starlight, which honestly, I love this book. A lot of people say that they like skipped over this book, or it's like, oh, you don't really need to read it. Listen, after the emotional damage and trauma of A Court of Wings and Ruin, this was needed. I loved getting to see like Feyre and Cassian just like being drunk and trying to put the Christmas decorations up, and the Bat Boys having like a little snowball fight. It was so freaking cute. We get to see a little bit more like development between some of the secondary characters in this too, and I loved it, and I gave it 5 stars. Go jump in a lake. And the most recent book to date is A Court of Silver Flames. Now, I actually did not know until literally I picked up the back of this book and saw who it was about, that it was going to be about Nesta and Cassian. Like, I was really shook. So just to give context, Feyre has 2 sisters, Nesta and Elaine. So Nesta is one of Feyre's sisters, and this is like her own sort of story / love story with one of the other boys in the group. His name's Cassian. Now, this one I gave 4.75 stars. It was the only one other than A Court of Thorns and Roses that didn't get the 5 star. The reason I didn't is because I just don't think Cassian and Nesta do it for me the way Rhys and Feyre do. Rhys and Feyre literally mess me up in a way I will never be able to explain to you. They are now my wallpaper. Like, you know what I mean? They just didn't do it for me. I think as someone who loves me a spicy book, is a spicy book connoisseur, there was too much spice in this. It took away from the meat and like the depth of their relationship, and I kind of just needed something else to make me really like love them, you know what I mean? But I still gave it 4.5 stars. I just would like to really quickly say, I'm gonna put a timestamp so you can skip past these spoilers. From page 735 to 738, I was in the most hysterical fit I've ever been in my entire life. Okay? What Nesta did for Feyre, for Rhys, and for little Nyx. I'm still not over it. And like, and then her and Rhys hugging, like him being so grateful that she saved their lives. Guys, I could not breathe. Like, I'm being serious. I'm not mucking around. I know I say it all the time. It messed me up. Okay, before we rank the books, I just want to give my final thoughts on the series as a whole, because like I always say, I am a romance gal. I'm not a fantasy gal. Out of the 88 books that I read last year, only 4 of them were fantasy, like romantic-y vibes, because I really need something special to make me want to continue reading it, to make me enthralled, enjoyed, like enjoy it, make it enjoyable. Not only does this story have a place that literally, I want to go to there. It has a place that like is not real, but feels so real, and it's called Valaris. And the people who live there feel like my home and my family. It sounds so wanky, but literally I read this book, this whole series, like really fast. Considering like the size of some of these novels, I could not put it down. All I wanted to do was spend my time with these characters like every single day. And I know that sounds so stupid, but like I have not had a book series affect me this deeply in such a long time. I will be on TikTok and like you guys know, like the edits come up and it will be like of the audiobook, and Feyre's like to Valaris, the city of starlight, and then the edits and the music, and I can't deal. Like the other night I was just lying in my bed and I thought about the inner circle and I just started crying. Like, needless to say, I love this series more than life. And I literally got my nails done today and I said, make me feel like part of the night court, make me feel like part of the night court, make me feel like a high lady, like high fae, like let's be for real. I love every person in this book series more than life, and I cannot put them in like first, second, third, fourth, fifth. I love them all so much, and in a way I cannot explain. Rhys and Feyre, there is just that, like, I can't explain to you this. This right here is my favorite thing. I have never been touched in a way about like these two, the romance in this. And sometimes you guys, I really struggle with books that are not spicy. Like I need the spice, I need that, like, you know, that angst. This, I love them so much. Their romance is so, all I keep thinking about is the last like few chapters of A Court of Silver Flames. Like, I need to stop crying because I need to go to work later and like my makeup's gonna come off my face. Let's rank the books. At the bottom of the ladder is A Court of Thorns and Roses. I gave this 3.75 stars. It just was not enjoyable. I predicted way too much. And honestly, I told you guys, if I did not know this was the most popular series in the world, I wouldn't have continued, and that's really upsetting. My one piece of advice that I think everybody should know before going into this, you will not enjoy this book. This is not a good book. Not good. But Jesus Christ, if I actually did not push through, I would have literally missed out on one of the most beautiful stories I've ever read in my life. So just push through and read it. It's world building. In fourth spot is A Court of Frost and Starlight, because this is so cute, and you guys don't love fun. You don't love silly antics between your family, you know, and that's who they feel like to me. 5 stars, I loved. In third spot is A Court of Silver Flames, and I'm gonna be real with you guys. A Court of Silver Flames and A Court of Frost and Starlight was so close, like together. And the reason this one got bumped up is because of those last few chapters. Because like emotional damage, my favorite thing. These last two as well change depending on the day, depending on my mood, depending on what I think of all the time. A lot of people say that A Court of Mist and Fury is the best book in the series, and really depending on the time in the day, I really think that it's a bit of a toss-up, because I both of these destroyed me, but like upon reflection, second spot goes to A Court of Wings and Ruin, because I think the first little bit is a bit war heavy for me, but still thoroughly enjoyed and sobbed my eyes out. And the best book in this series is A Court of Mist and Fury. There is no doubt about this book being what everybody says it is, and it is phenomenal. I just really want to like go back already and reread this book. When I read, I don't know if it's chapter 54 where Feyre finds out the thing and she's really pissed off. I don't know if it's a little bit before that. When I read that, I was in a gutter. I was crying, sobbing, shaking from then onwards for the rest of the book. This is like, I can see this book in my head. Does that make sense? I can see this whole book like a film in my head, and I want to go to there. I want to go to there. Okay, I'm going to end this video before I start crying again. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Again, I really appreciate you guys coming back and supporting me. It really does mean so much. I'll let you guys know that I will be looking to start the Throne of Glass series soon, because I guess Sarah J. Maas just has a hook on me. I would love to know what you guys have thought of the ACOTAR series. If you have read it, if you have not, let me know. And if you haven't, like, this is your sign. You need to do so. Thank you guys so much again. I hope you are all having a lovely day, a lovely night, depending on wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.